So let us begin the last lecture of the class of 2010. First lesson, Boston College. Why are we the bomb? Now, while I don't agree with everything that Mr. Kanye West has to say, his songs are immensely popular and he is very well known. You no doubt have heard Welcome to the Good Life featuring T-Pain. I listened to that while I wrote this introduction paragraph and prepared this ground level lesson. An email from Manhattan writes, very few people I've encountered talk about their college days like an eagle will talk about their time at Chestnut Hill. You could get a great education for a lot less money in equally cool cities as Boston, but you will be hard-pressed to find another group of people who are truly the complete package, parentheses, as corny as that sounds. Where else will you find 9,000 of the country's best students who are not only brilliant, but are athletes, volunteers, artists, leaders, and the list goes on. I've stated before that I feel that Boston College is the finest school in the United States of America. Many of you heard me say that. And for all of our flaws, I believe that. I firmly believe that statement. This is because BC offers friends and experiences that, in my opinion, are second to nothing. The friends and experiences that make you who you are. It's okay to have doubts on whether this is the right place for you. Different schools are better for different people, and sometimes people transfer and change schools when necessary. One Eagle highly considered transferring, quote, the source of my frustration with life at BC is not worth mentioning here, though I will say it had nothing to do with the friends I made or the classes and teachers I took. After a period of time, that Eagle did come back, saying, quote, I found myself, after my journey to Australia, even more excited to return to my life at BC as a senior. The fact that BC does not have a Greek system allows students to create friends in a genuine and autonomous way. There's no overarching structure that huddles people together and forces them to be friends, like in frats or sororities. Rather, at BC, you are exposed to people through clubs, where you live, and the classes you take. And from there, you can choose with whom you want to become friends, which is unique and awesome. Again, different cultures have different traditions, and just because they're different doesn't make it bad. I've been to many USC frat and sorority parties, and they are very entertaining. But it's certainly a perk here that we don't have a Greek system. A SoCal contributor answered why BC is the bomb with, quote, I'd love one more day to wake up and laugh about the night before with my roommates, to walk outside the mods to all of my friends, to walk through campus on Friday afternoon, casually running into favorite teachers, your best friends, and that cute guy you hope to cross off your senior 5. But we'll get to issues of leaving later, seniors. At BC, you can use this time to really try and figure out what you like in life. Academics, people, lifestyles, etc. Realize that it's cool to be smart, and that there is a never-ending list of things to learn. Always make sure to try and take classes or a class that you really think you will enjoy, even if it's not a part of your major. The teachers at Boston College are excellent. Get to know your professors and teachers. They are exceptional. Talk to them about their experiences and about their knowledge. There is no better time than now to have such an easy access to learning and information. Many professors will take a sincere interest in both your life inside and outside of the classroom. Sure, it could benefit your grade if you get to know them, but more importantly, it will enhance aspects of your later life. Since entering the working world, I have on multiple occasions emailed prior professors or professors I have never had, questions on reports I am writing. I work alongside, in Egypt, with a Yale and Harvard graduate. They are both shocked at the camaraderie I have with past professors and with the high response rate from professors I have never had. BC is truly a community. Classes can be difficult. If you are having trouble, send an email. Grades can be surprisingly subjective. And if a teacher knows you are trying your best, he or she may give you a boost. But the rigorous academia brings many debates, readings, and practice in the classroom that will transfer to wisdom and preparation for the future. Greater knowledge will help you know yourself. Here at BC, most of the education happens outside the lecture hall anyways, except for right now. And quote, it took me a couple years to figure that out, says many responses. While BC-ness can get overwhelming, It's just normal. Take a step away, and you'll be back down to earth in a second. Whether you're departing for a holiday summer or seniors taking off for Tomorrowland, if your life on the Heights is something you can't imagine leaving, then congratulations. You have a second home, a comfort level that has been reached both with the physical campus and with the people who make BC what it is. BC friendships are ones that don't go away, and you never have to fear that. The time here is just so valuable because never again will you be around the people who you really, really love all the time, anytime that you want. Over half a dozen emails stated, quote, enjoy every single second of your time here. Here's always a BC booster. In case you didn't notice, we like to have fun. You have already had or will have many parties, such as the 12 Mods of Christmas, of age-themed scavenger hunts, and the architectural masterpieces that are the bars of Cleveland Circle. That's true. I don't know why you're laughing. You'll have great pregame tailgates, grill darties outside in the spring, which is a day party, and epic surprise dance parties on people's birthdays. You will create memories of, quote, spending time with your closest friends on the roof of your house drinking wine and rushing out of basements of overcrowded off-campus festivities. When St. Patrick's Day is the second best day of the year at your Irish Catholic school, then you clearly are the bomb. Outshined by the Great Marathon Monday, which is perhaps the most fantastic day created by man. Yes, BC is fun. The BC classic work hard, play hard got its own little subsection in the BC experience. We often say here at BC that we work hard, play hard, and it is true. It is not as easily as said as done, though. Did that make sense? You know what I'm trying to say. Keep your GPA afloat. You don't have to freak out about a B- or a C. You shouldn't be getting Fs or Ds. It's not worth $50,000. But as long as you're giving a decent effort, work hard and have fun. One contributor described work hard, play hard with ease. How he had, quote, plenty of epic nights culminating in way too many Chinese orders from New Hong Kong. And yet at the same time wrote a highly acclaimed history thesis and got into phenomenal law schools. It is an excellent thesis. I have read it. Make most of both the awesome social and academic experiences that BC can offer you. You certainly do have both to the fullest. Work hard and play hard. But, flip side. The most challenging times for me involve striking a balance between work and play. And striking that balance, any balance, can be difficult. The transition for a lot of people who went from schools where you had to go to class, had teachers looking over your shoulder to make sure you weren't failing, etc., from structure to complete freedom can be a little unsettling. It's only natural to try and seize the freedom and to exploit it, as if it's fleeting in some way. But the astute thing is to use that freedom to grow as a person. Again, cliche, but those who can utilize that new sense of freedom will be the ones who succeed here. BC is unbelievable. And in summary, beyond our facilities and towers, our great history, or even the amazing city of Boston, BC is fantastic because great professors and great kids surround you. Be honored to be an Eagle. Newspapers, reporters, sports columnists, government officials, websites, the neighbors of Brighton, etc., etc. They all might hate you and rip on you. But it's like dynasties in sports. When someone's on top for so very long and so dominant in what they do, people will always envy you and try to point out any flaws. An important disclaimer to the first lesson. We must avoid always the sin of pride. Never ever let it go to your head. You are no better than the person to your right or to your left. Remember to give thanks. Every time you walk out of O'Neill, for example, exhausted and stressed on the frigid evenings that we know so well, look up to your left at the shining lights on Gasson. Look at that gorgeous building, that landmark, and think about how utterly fortunate you are to be where you are, doing what you are doing. At BC, we get a chance to learn from some of the greatest minds on earth and read some of the wisest words ever written. You carry a noble legacy, remain grateful and humbled. But it's okay to be excited and rejoice in your blessings. Be reminded of our mission. Sometimes the outcomes seem to skew our entire experience. If when we don't achieve a certain goal, we feel that we haven't completed our greatest potential or that we've failed in some way. It is vital for us to realize that for our undergraduate career, it is the steps which lead us that are more important than the destination. It is the means which are greater than the end results. With our unique community, our deep intellectual curiosities, and a commitment to service, you are all ripe in an environment to know yourself and to grow with your friends. Contributors found that such vast offerings allow students to truly dive into their passions and discern who they are, who they once were, and who they aspire to become. Use college as a place to find out who you truly are. On a personal note, it's totally okay to not know where you want to go after your time here. I could end up in New York or DC or Boston or LA. I do not know where I am going. I have a few different paths. I know well the ones that I would like to explore, but my future is not set in stone at all. So no worries when there is no absolute or utter clarity. But here's a nice message of someone who is comfortable in his sense of purpose in joining the United States military. I can't claim to be of any authority on how to make the most of your time at BC. I enjoyed my time just as anyone, but I had the rare privilege of knowing my purpose. I'd heard a calling, and I've sworn an oath and accepted my commission to set the world aflame as a warrior, like St. Ignatius, and as a guardian of the ideals that I hold most dear. My most sincere wish for every Eagle is that you can recognize your calling in whatever form it comes and respond with the same degree of devotion. Second lesson, friendships and relationships, their creating, nurturing, and their growth. Friendship. How do you define that? The first definition of friendship in Urban Dictionary actually is really, really good. 386 thumbs up agree with me. Friendship is a form of love. This is quoted, Urban Dictionary. Friendship is a form of love, an odd form of love, in which people develop a relationship without relationship as a goal. Scientific achievements have come out of tight-knit friendships, such as Watson and Crick, as well as victories in wars due to the tight camaraderie and mutual trust of soldiers, generals, kings, or states, even works of literary genius, J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. These examples show how a friendship is developing a relationship without a goal, means becoming ends. I think that we all have our own pretty solid understanding of good friends, hopefully, especially you juniors and senior Eagles. But that doesn't mean that there aren't lessons on this vital topic to human development. Friendship is the essential element for love, as stated earlier, the most important thing on earth. First, vital. Avoid preconceived notions. Do not judge people right away. Just because someone is in another group does not mean that you cannot befriend them. So branch out. As people, we like to judge in groups. Oh, those Gerald girls, the Walsh guys, the Vandy girls, the Chevrolet group. And it's okay to cluster. We are human beings, and we get excited about our friends and the places that we call home. But remember that people aren't just members of a group. They are individuals as well, and do not judge. A nice example for judging was made just today. Now, often I pick up the Heights. You have an excellent crossword and Sudoku. Most would agree with me. And your newspaper quality has actually risen a lot in the past few years. It looks great. But this morning, the Heights editorial board wrote a critique of a lecture that had not yet been delivered. And I'm sure they had no idea how it was constructed with its very unique design. If you didn't read the Heights editorial, do not bother. They fear that I'll bring a lack of respect and gravity, and that the last lecture should be a professor or should be no one at all. I understand fear of the unorthodox. New things can be scary, but again, do not judge too quickly. Take advantage of clubs and activities BC has to offer. I love meeting new people through these activities. I met people I otherwise may have never known, and they have changed me and they have influenced me. For those people who are less social, this is definitely one of the best ways to make new friends. Also, as a freshman, Don't be friends because you think